Hi everybody and welcome back to the Daily 3D Print. Today's tutorial is going to be about the groups versus components. And if you don't understand how to use groups and components, your model can become very messy. So today I'm going to show you the difference between each one and when we're going to use them. So let's do it. So what actually are groups? Well, if we start to draw with the rectangle command, use push-pull to create the 3D geometry. Take the select, which is over here, or spacebar, exactly the same function. Draw a window around all the geometry. Right click and choose make group. I'm going to take a copy of this one, use the move tool, press Control to get this little plus icon, click on the corner. Now I've created the copy. I can place it wherever I like, but I'm going to place it right here. Now for us to go in and edit the original group, I take the select tool and double click, so I get this dotted line around the geometry. That means I'm inside the group. Take the push pull, click on the one side, make it smaller, maybe this side, make it smaller. As you can see, the other one, it doesn't change, it just stays the same. So they're not linked to each other at all. They're just a copy of each other, but they're not linked. If I was to do the same with a component, I start by drawing a rectangle exactly the same way. Take push pull, give it a thickness, take the select, triple click, right click, make component this time. We call it cube 5. We don't need to go through these just now, we'll take it in another tutorial. Just press create at the bottom. So now I've created. If I'm unsure if I've created or not, when I select it and look over on the entity info, it says solid component 1 in model. If I deselect this one and click on the original group, it says solid group 1 in model. So that's how you can tell the difference. So let's change the component. I'll take a copy of the component, place it there, and maybe realize I've made a mistake and I want to go back and change the size of the original. So I can double click, go into the component, take the push pull exactly like we did with the group, but this time when I click on this surface, everything updates all at the same time. It's like you could say it's like a linked copy. And then you could say that the groups are just isolated geometry. They're like independent objects and they're not linked to anything else. So a group is just a container for geometry. And groups are usually used for like unique objects, one-time geometry or temporary modeling, custom shapes and things like that. And if you'll only use the object once, then it's best to use a group. Now components, they're usually windows, doors, furniture, chairs, tables, repeating objects, 3D printed parts. And in professional modeling, components are used everywhere. So a beginner mistake that most people make in the beginning is, well, I'll show you. If we delete this component, we can delete these groups. Okay, so one of the most common problems in the beginning, you take a component, take move, or we can make it a bit of room in between each one like this, and then you realize the one in the middle, it's the wrong size. So we go into the component, take push pull, but even if I just want to change the one in the middle, they all change at the same time because of the components. And maybe you don't want this, you just want to change the one in the middle and keep the outer two. So what you do, go back, You just select the one you want to change, right click, and this time click on Make Unique. Now I can double click on this one, go to push pull, maybe make it a little bit smaller, or do the changes that I need. And now you can see the others are still exactly the same as they were, and I've only changed the one in the middle. So that's the difference. That's one of the most common mistakes you make in the beginning, that you don't realize how to use components and how they're linked to each other. So don't forget that one, to right click and make unique. And just a little pro tip is that components reduce file size and improve performance. It's extremely important to use it as much as you can. But now you know exactly how to use groups and when to use components. And now I can show you a practical example of this, of when to use groups and when to use components. So I'm going to delete these. So we can start by modeling a simple chair. We make the seat. I'm not going to do the exact dimensions here. I see that this is huge. Well, we can zoom in a little bit anyway. We can make the seat, make a little thickness on the seat, maybe take a line here to create the backrest, like so. Give this a little bit more, and maybe create the four legs on the underside of the seat. So just draw out a rectangle, and then I can just take a copy of this one. Place it there. Hold down Control, so I select both of them, click on both surfaces, and then take the Move tool. Click on this endpoint, press Control, so you get the plus icon to create a copy, and place them there. And now I'm going to push pull on the legs and just draw them down. And I know they're quite long, but I'm going to show you a little trick in just a second. Double click to get the same length. Now chairs, we're going to use quite a few of these. Maybe there's going to be 6 chairs around the table, so we're going to take the select tool, right click, and we're going to make a component. I'm going to call it chair and create. And our table, well, we're only going to use one table, so yeah, we can just create a rectangle like this. Same procedure, give it a thickness. And create the legs on the underside. Like this. Select the surface, take Move to create a copy with Control. Place it on there. Go back to Select, hold down Control and click on the other side so they're both selected. Take Move, press Control, click on the endpoint, oh sorry, this endpoint, select them again, move this endpoint and move them to the end of the table, and then give them a thickness like this. Zoom in, double click and double click this. Okay, they could have been a little bit longer. So this one is just going to be made into a group. So triple click, right click, make group. And now if I wanted to move the chair underneath the table, you see it's far too tall. It won't go under. So I've made a mistake. So well, before I do this, I'm going to make the copies of the chair. Rotate it 90 degrees. Move one there. Copy and a copy. And then select all 3 chairs. Create a copy again. Move them to the other side of the table. And maybe rotate them 180 degrees. and move them in towards the table. Follow the red axis. So you see this side as well, they're also too tall. So what we need to do, we see that the legs, they're too long. All I need to do, go into the one chair, press pull, push pull, go into each leg, select all the chairs and just move them down slightly. And now I can move them directly under the table. If these were just groups, then I would have to go into each and every chair and each and every leg and adjust the position and the size. So that's the power of using the component tool. Fantastic. So that's all I'm going to show for today. Now you know the difference between groups and components and how important it is to use the components when you can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and next time in the next tutorial we're going to go through the move tool and things you can do with that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.